We got our headliners with Trust Point. Tim Roberts was Sandler trainer guy. I call him the sales Yoda, and I have for about 5 years since I met him. He's an amazing guy. He's, as you can see on the slide, they cover it from soup to nuts. Anything that you need as far as sales training for your people, for yourself, to make a difference in negotiations and making a difference in your business and growth. Tim is the guy that can bring that to your company. So give him a big round of applause as he comes to talk to us this night. Mr. Tim Roberts. I know.
27 days, folks. 27 days until the morning after the election. On the morning after, some of us are going to grumble and some of us are going to smile real broadly. Some of us believe that the world is going to plunge into 1,000 years of darkness, and many of us aren't going to care one way or another. The morning after. Imagine the morning after election. Now let me take my magic wand here and put you all into the morning after. Close your eyes, see, hear, and feel the morning after. Yikes! The morning after the election. What did you see? The morning after is going to have either people dancing in the streets or there's going to be weeping and gnashing of teeth. People are either going to be all smiles or there's going to be the agony of defeat. The morning after is going to have some people shaking their heads in utter disbelief, asking, how could this have possibly happened? Some people are going to be whistling all day at work. I suspect that there will be some people of the same political persuasion huddled together in their offices. There will be those giving a quiet fist bump with a wink and a smile. And there's going to be out-and-out trash talking going on. You might even see an occasional, cool, pinky handshake. But there's also going to be people that are going to be unwilling or uncomfortable to even look into the eyes of their opponents because they're going to fear the glee and the opposition. To be sure, on the morning after, the politicians themselves are going to be offering congratulations for a campaign well run and good job on a battle well fought. And there's also going to be people who just want their TV back so they can watch Jerseylicious, watch the Seinfeld show. But to be double sure, the political pundits are going to return to the airwaves, and there's going to be blaming and finger pointing and renewed shouting because that's what they're paid to do. The morning after, I fear, is going to be predictable. And predictable is the thing that should cause alarm for all of us. A predictable, tough morning after the election for one side or the other means there's the trend, and the trend's ugly. If the trend's ugly, the reason behind it is the shouting back and forth. The shouting back and forth means we're playing fast and loose with the facts. If we're playing fast and loose with the facts, that means we don't respect our fellow citizens. That means we, a bit like our founding fathers, are judging the mental horsepower of our fellow Americans. And that means that we chosen few know what's best for everybody else. Folks, that's a recipe for confusion. And confusion is a political tactic. I'm okay doing that with our enemies, but not to fellow Americans. I was a kid that grew up wanting to be the President of the United States. I remember dreaming how honorable it would be, how proud it would make my mom and dad and family and friends to lead a country as good and just as ours. I remember reading books about the presidents' lives and our beloved founding fathers. I remember dreaming about their ideals and thinking, my gosh, how could all the other nations on earth have gotten it so wrong? And our guys were freaking geniuses. I actually made it to Capitol Hill just out of graduate school. I went to work for a United States congressman, and I will never forget my first day on the Hill, which was also my first day ever in Washington. I knew exactly what I was going to do as soon as the plane touched down. I went straight to the Capitol, and once there, I went straight to Statuary Hall. Have you ever heard of or been to Statuary Hall? It's the place where America's greatest citizens forever stand in honor. Now, there are 2 statues for each state, and they're larger than life. I mean, huge, bronze and marble, larger than life. You walk in, there's Ethan Allen from Vermont, Henry Clay, William Jennings Bryan. Over here, there's Robert E. Lee of Virginia, Samuel Adams, and Andrew Stonewall Jackson of Tennessee. And they've got modern-day heroes there, too. Will Rogers and Helen Keller of Alabama. From Indiana, for those of you who are curious, you'll see General Lew Wallace and Governor Oliver Perry Morton. Folks, there's honor in that room, and it makes you feel really good, really powerful to be there. Perhaps we should all go there sooner rather than later. And yet, honor is being sidestepped. It's being hung out to dry in the name of short-term thinking. Do you know why our founding fathers created the Electoral College? I quote this from History Central. The founding fathers were afraid of direct election to the presidency. They feared a tyrant could manipulate public opinion and come to power. Alexander Hamilton wrote in the Federalist Papers, "It was equally desirable that the immediate election should be made by men most capable of analyzing the qualities adapted to the station and acting under circumstances favorable to deliberation and to a judicious combination of all the reasons and inducements which were proper to govern their choice." Ain't them beautiful words? A small number of persons, selected by their fellow citizens from the general mass, will be most likely to possess the information and discernment to such complicated investigations. It's desirable to afford as little opportunity as possible to tumult and disorder. This evil was not least to be dreaded in the election of a magistrate who was to have so important an agency in the administration of a government as the President of the United States. But the precautions which have been so happily concerted in the system under consideration promise an effectual security against this mischief. Folks, the Founding Fathers didn't think we were smart enough. They were worried, and rightly so, that there would be those who would manipulate others, and that challenge exists today. I'm amazed at the number of my fellow citizens who have advanced degrees in economics, fiduciaries who understand the tax code and all of its nuances. I'm amazed at the number of citizens who have advanced degrees in foreign policy, international law, and have a depth of knowledge and understanding of other cultures and religions that merit their presence on Meet the Press. Folks, I'm amazed at the number of fellow citizens who possess advanced degrees in medicine, hospital administration, insurance, and biological and molecular research, and they know how to put it all together. I'm amazed at the number of people who seem to know exactly how everything works. I'm amazed at the number of citizens who can see the future so clearly and know with predictable precision what's good for the rest of us. I'm also amazed at the number of fellow citizens who know nothing about honorable debate, who know nothing of psychology, and particularly a condition called reactance. Folks, reactance is that thing that causes people to go quiet when you shove your viewpoint down their throat. Reactance is that thing that makes people leave a party of friends and lament when they get home because their friends suck the life out of them with cheap political insults, over-the-top biased self-righteousness, and a raw hatred for fellow citizens. Folks, reactance is that thing that is causing America to drift towards mediocrity. We're going to have to learn that where each of us is right now in life, at this moment, is a result of all our previous thoughts, words, and actions. You know we came into the world with different experiences, and our experiences became our beliefs, and our beliefs became our attitude and actions. We're all completely different. I don't know how we get along as people as well as we do, given our neural experiences and development. Literally, our neural processes and synapses are so vastly different. Yet through this mass of a melting pot, there is a beauty and unity. My hope for all of us is that the morning after we lay down our verbal guns and take responsibility for our own thoughts, words, and actions, that we stop making other people responsible for our happiness. My hope for the morning after is that whomever is elected, we support and we stop counting down the days until they're thrown out or there's another election. Eckhart Tolle, in his book, The Power of Now, said, and I paraphrase, if small things have power over you, that's what you will become, small. Americans have never been small. At anything we do, we measure our greatness by our response to adversity. On the morning after, folks, what will America look like to you?
Good job. Give him a round of applause. That was awesome.